What's up, guys? First of all, thank you to everybody who watched our last video. It was our first time doing anything like that, and we want to keep putting more stuff like that out. If you have any questions for us or any comments, feel free to leave them below, and let us know what you think. But big news from us, we finally have a merch store online. You can go and get your t-shirts, hoodies. We even have a mug. We have a hat, tank top, stickers.
Yeah, and if you do get it, take a picture in it, tag us in it, or just, tag us in the receipt or whatever. We see all that stuff, so it means a lot, and anything that supports us, we're very grateful for.
And also, a lot of you have been asking for lyrics for our last EP. Well, we finally took care of it. We pinned them as comments in all the official audios, and if you want to go and check that out, feel free to. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about what we think shows are going to be like after all of this chaos is over with. That's the best way to describe it. We're not going to call it what it is because that doesn't go over very well on old YouTube. But in my opinion, I really don't see it being the same for a very long time. What do you think?
I honestly don't know. You must have been, doing a little bit of research about this, because I honestly haven't thought much about it other than, what's going on right now and like how shows are being canceled. But I honestly haven't thought much into the future of what shows are going to be like.
I mean, it's scary to think about, but while I'm thinking about it now, our show May 23rd in Columbia, South Carolina has not been canceled, and I will leave tickets to that in the description also. It's insane. I mean, everything's getting canceled right now. It's a huge bummer. I mean, I was supposed to go to Nashville and that had to get canceled. Like, I was really disappointed in that. Like, everything is insane right now. And I mean, for smaller musicians, this is gonna kill them, especially ones who are just now getting to where they can live off of what they're doing. We're not even near that yet, but we still have our day jobs. we will for a long time. But yeah, I can only imagine for people who are just starting to make it. And the problem is that we don't know when this is going to end. It could be 2 months, or it could be the dreaded 18 months that they're talking about. We don't know.
Speaking of that, and I wouldn't even say it's affecting smaller bands, because Carnifex, they just announced a tour a couple months ago, maybe even a year ago, and all of this stuff happened, and with it being canceled, they lost a ton of money that went into that, and they were selling all of their merch and stuff like that, trying to make any kind of profit in return. But
if you're able to support any of these bands, if your favorite band is if they had a tour plan or anything like that, or just at all times support your favorite band, you should always buy merch or buy their songs, do anything you can.
Yeah, we're not just saying that about us. With any band, whether it's your favorite band or just a band you just discovered and you like a couple of their songs, support them if you can. If you have a couple bucks and you can buy their album, just do it. I mean, it helps whether you see it or not. So
it's just strange times right now. I mean, nobody's ever been through anything like this. And one band that I was really getting into, and I really hated for them, is Code Orange. I don't know if you've ever listened to them, but they released their album and they had so much planned, and now that has gone under. But they did release a really, really sick live video a couple weeks ago, and I highly recommend you check that out. So aside from all of that, thinking back on shows you've been to, who is your top tier show, and What are like your top 10 concerts you've been to?
Based off of just like performance-wise, or just all around?
All around, just like you had the most fun. Like they put on a hell of a show. Like who would you say is like your tier? Start from. Yeah, you can start with your number one. Make it easy.
So you want
I think
it ranked?
I know what that is.
So you want it ranked?
Sure.
Okay. I'll go from number 5, I guess, and go to number 1. My number 5 would probably be... Honestly, I'd say one of the Carolina Rebellions. Just simply, I don't know which one. I can't remember off the top of my head the lineups, but
Anyway,
I'm assuming it'd be probably the first one.
that was in 2011.
Yeah, just because that was like really our first.
That was our first like big like concert.
Yeah.
That was our first
But
festival.
if not that, like I said, I can't remember off the top of my head the lineups, but any of the Carolina Rebellions, I would rank as my number 5, just because that's a different type of experience, a different environment.
Do you remember
festival.
how miserable we were?
Yes.
Like it was so much fun. We were happy, but like there was no food, no water. I mean there was, but like there weren't enough vendors for everybody. It was a nightmare. But I still enjoyed it.
Yeah. So that first Carolina Rebellion, because it was the first year they had ever done something like that, it was very like underprepared. Like those people, I don't think they realized the magnitude of what was about to happen.
Yeah, I mean that's for most first festivals though. Like I went to Epicenter this past year and that was miserable. Now granted, it was all because of the storms and there was a bunch of chaos in the parking lot because of that, and I don't know, that was a nightmare. The show itself, like the first day and that Sunday were, from what I heard, that Sunday was pretty good. I couldn't take any more of it. I went that Friday and it was a great time.
Yeah, so like I said, the Carolina Rebellions would be my number 5. Number 4, I would say, would be, off the top of my head, just bands, whether I saw them at a show or festival, whatever. I'd say my top bands that I've seen would be Slipknot, Behemoth, Him. I want to say Korn, but I feel like I'm missing a band out of that, and then Slayer, just because of.
Yeah, and we got to see Motorhead too.
Yeah, and we see Motorhead too.
Mayhem Festival 2012 was like insane. That was another big one we went to.
Yeah.
That was Slipknot's first tour back in the United States after Paul Gray passed away, and Slayer was co-headlining right underneath them.
And then under them was Motorhead.
Yeah, Motorhead. And As I Lay Dying, before their lead singer went to jail,
Yeah.
they were playing. And let's see, who else? Asking was there.
Yeah,
was that our first time seeing Asking?
That was the first time seeing Asking Alexandria. We saw Whitechapel at that show.
Anthrax.
There were so many
The
bands.
Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
That was a stacked lineup.
Yeah, that was a very good Mayhem tour.
Yeah. Too bad that went under, but
Yeah.
that was so good. Going away from metal for a second, I'm not gonna lie. Chainsmokers put on a hell of a show.
I mean, I've heard and I've seen stuff of theirs online. I can see why it would be a really good time.
They put on a really, really good show. And they would mix it up. They would do the live stuff, and then all of a sudden they would switch up and do like a 15-minute DJ set, and like that was really cool. Like at that point, it's about the crowd interaction more so than anything. It's like, I don't know, it was a cool experience. It's a whole lot different than going to a metal show. But I love both. I think looking back on that 2012, on the Mayhem Festival, would you say that was your best Slipknot show you've seen?
Ooh.
Because that was our first time seeing them. That was a huge moment for us.
Dude, honestly, I think this last time we saw Slipknot, they had just as much energy as that first time that we saw them. And arguably, the show was better.
Talking about we saw them this past August, right?
Yes, we saw them this past August. And
2019.
yeah, they had the white jumpsuits on that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought back the jumpsuits and stuff, but I feel like that first time we saw them back in 2012, that just holds a separate, special part in like our minds and stuff, just because that was our first time ever seeing them. We saw Joey, he was still with them, and like someone who played drums, I idolized Joey just like a lot of other drummers. So seeing these guys for the first time, these guys that you watch on YouTube and whatnot, seeing them for the first time, that's a big deal. And then to even make it more emotional, they had like the tribute to Paul near the end of the set. They dropped like the backdrop, and it had the big number 2 as the background, and they had like his jumpsuit and mask and stuff, and like all the band members were like going up and whatnot, and then Joey I think hugged it near the end. Like it was a lot of emotions going on at that show, so that's definitely something that's hard to forget.
Yeah.
And we met them.
We met them.
Yeah,
and you had to buy their Antennas to Hell CD, and you would get a ticket. And we got in line, and we met Corey, Clown, and Chris Finn.
Yeah, it was Chris. But it was literally you lay your CD on the thing, they sign it, push it to the next, and then Corey, I think if you stuck your hand out, he might like.
Yeah, he shook mine.
Yeah.
He was like, Corey.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
I know.
I know. Yeah, but Clown didn't even look up. He just sat there, stared at the paper, wrote Clown, and just moved on. But I get it. They didn't. It was hot, and they didn't want to be out there doing that. Let's see, who else?
Because I'm a big Behemoth fan, this past time, we saw them with Slipknot, but when I saw them at a house show in Charlotte.
Not a house show. You saw them in Fillmore.
Yeah, it was Fillmore.
Could you imagine a Behemoth house show?
That'd be a hell of a show. But it was at the it was the Underground.
That was the Underground.
Yeah, the Underground, right beside the Fillmore. But seeing them for the first time, I mean, they just... Honestly, I don't know how and why they even played there. They could have easily played at the Fillmore, which was bigger. But with it being in the Underground, if you are familiar with that venue, it's very small and tight, and it was wild. And they had like I don't know what you call it, like the CO2 things. And they were up there just giving it hell, spitting blood in the crowd. It was wild. And seeing that for the first time, it was incredible.
What about I know you've gotten to see Metallica. I missed that show.
See, I knew I'd forget one. Yeah. I did get to see Metallica in Atlanta at the new Atlanta Braves Stadium before the Braves even played at that place. Seeing Metallica, and I've seen Guns N' Roses too, but something about Metallica, that show, it's almost like you don't realize you're there. It's kind of like surreal. And
I'm so mad I couldn't see that.
When they have a little thing where you can watch their tuning room, there's like a certain thing they call it where you can watch on your phone like them, tune it up and warm it up and whatnot. And they had, I can't remember the name of the song, but they have like their intro song come out, and it starts, and then Lars comes running out and then starts playing the beginning, like the snare roll to Hardwire.
Yeah.
And then they all come running out, and then fireworks go off, and it's just it's one of those moments you're like, I'm here, holy shit, this is really happening. And it's just 3 hours of just non-stop Metallica, and it's worth every penny. And I'm sure a lot of people have gone to see them at this point because they've done hardcore touring the past couple of years, but including you, if you have not seen them, it is 100% worth the money.
I will next go around for sure. That's one I'll always kick myself for not going to. one for me that I really enjoyed was Foo Fighters.
I never got to see them.
Yeah, Clayton and I saw them. Now they're one of my favorite bands. Everlong will always be my favorite song. It just means so much to me. But yeah, they do this interesting thing where they like don't really play all of their songs. At least they didn't for this show. They would play them up till the bridge and then just go on a tangent, like they would just start playing and jamming for like so long. Like it felt like they probably only played like 15 of their songs, but the show was over 3 hours because they were just jamming the entire time. It was great, and then at the very end, they played Everlong. They it was their encore. They went off stage and they came back, and it was great. It was like a euphoric moment, I guess you could say.
Going back to the Guns N' Roses concert, if you've seen Guns N' Roses, you know what I'm talking about. But when I watched that show, it was damn near 4 hours, and Axl changed outfits at least 10 times during the show. There was at least 5 solos between Slash and what's his face? Doug, or not Doug? Bass player.
Oh, Duff.
Duff. And it was just, honestly, I almost fell asleep at one point because of how I had been there for 3.5 hours. I waited in line to get a t-shirt, and it's just a wall of noise just playing. It's so long, but I'm very appreciative that I got to go see that. They killed it.
Now, who are some bands that you still want to see? Because I think me and you can both agree on one for sure, and that's Rammstein.
Yeah, Rammstein. Yeah, 100%. And it sucks because they just announced 4, maybe 5 shows in the U.S., but nowhere near us. I think the closest one is in Washington, D.C.
Also, their lead singer is, I'm hoping he recovered, but last time I heard he was in the ICU because he caught.
Yeah, I read it. He didn't caught the thing. He didn't get that, but he was sick, and last I heard he was doing good. Like, I think it was just something small.
Let's hope so. I still want to see them, and I know they're memed out, but I still want to see Tool so bad. I was supposed to see them at Epicenter this past year, and it got rained out, and it was, oh god, it was infuriating. 10,000 Days is one of my favorite albums. It's in my top 5 favorite albums.
Yeah, whether you're a Tool fan or not, because I know a lot of it seems like with Tool, you either you like them or you don't.
Yeah.
And one thing that if you don't like them, you can't deny that the stuff that they do play in their shows and stuff are phenomenal. If you go on YouTube and see some of their shows, they are damn good musicians, and they can play the hell out of their instruments.
Yeah, they can.
And on top of that, I mean, just their performance, the way their stage, like the way they run around and stuff like that is wild. So,
anybody else you want to see?
There's a couple smaller bands that I'd like to see. Go see them and whatnot. But like big bands, I've pretty much seen all the bands that I've wanted to see. This was like on my top 10 list of bands to see, other than Rammstein. But I would definitely like to go see Him again, even though they're not technically a band anymore. I saw them on their farewell tour. But I don't know. I think I've already seen Avenged Sevenfold. I got to see them. We saw them.
We saw them a couple times. They're very, very good.
There's a couple like older bands that I wish I could have seen, like Kiss. I never got to see them, but you saw them.
Yeah, I saw them with Motley Crue, and that was a damn good show. It's strange though, cause like Motley Crue don't care. They'll say whatever they want on stage. Like they can be gross, they can do this and that. And But Kiss keeps it clean. They try and make it where like kids can come to their show and stuff like that. So
I know who I want to see. Clayton's probably going to kill me for not even mentioning them. Black Label.
Yeah, I was supposed to see Black Label too at Epicenter, and it got
me and Clayton had just
canceled.
Clayton bought the tickets, but the day that I was supposed to buy the tickets, they were playing in Myrtle Beach. The day I was going to buy my ticket, Clayton called me like 30 minutes before I bought it and told me that they had canceled or postponed the show because of the thing. And
didn't last time Clayton see them, their set got canceled, or not canceled, but it got cut in half or something. The power went out.
It was the Black Dahlia Murder, which is another band I want to see, and Black Label. And the Black Dahlia played. Clayton said they killed it, but Black Label went up there, started playing, and then they blew.
They blew a fuse.
They blew a fuse, and it cut the set by like 25 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes.
Ugh. No, Clayton, that killed him.
Yeah, Clayton died inside a little bit that night.
And that's his Jesus.
That is his hero.
But yeah.
Ozzy is another one I would like to go see if
my man don't stop falling down the stairs or
or
something. He's not gonna make it to the
want to see Ozzy. I'm kind of jealous I didn't get to see Iron Maiden. Even though I'm not the biggest Iron Maiden fans, I know some people are going to crucify me for saying that. I do respect them and I do appreciate their stuff, so I would like to see them. A band that I definitely want to go see again, if they'll go back to a little bit more of their older style, is Ghost. We saw them on their Meliora tours. I guess that's how you say it. We saw them at Carolina Rebellion.
Oh yeah.
When that album had just came out, so we saw them arguably, prime time Ghost.
Yeah.
And that was a hell of a set. They killed it.
Now, what's been your favorite Atrial show so far?
Honestly, this past show our last show, I don't remember the date off the top of my head.
It was December 23rd.
Yeah, December 23rd when we played at New Brooklyn Tavern in Columbia.
Headlining there May 23rd. Get your ticket below.
This past time we played there, we actually played back-to-back shows, and we played that Friday and Saturday was the New Brooklyn. And while we were playing that show, it was our first couple shows in a couple months. And we got all the jitters and stuff out that Friday before, and when we played at New Brooklyn, we just went up there with just like an I don't give a shit attitude and just absolutely killed it, in my opinion. I don't know, people there watching could have been like, damn, these guys suck, but it was like we were all clicking. Like, we had good stage presence, it felt like, so.
Yeah, I know Matthew had a good time. I know there was a bunch of songs in our covers. I know before I forget, he barely even had the mic. He kept giving it to people.
Yeah. That was on Friday.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good show.
That was a good show.
And we played with a bunch of great bands that night too.
Yeah, we have been very fortunate that all the shows that we've played so far, all the smaller bands or local bands that, are around the same, status.
Everybody's been really chill.
Yeah, everybody's been really chill. That being said, I can't even name like bands that we haven't played with that we've been like, ugh, like.
We're not going to name any. You can think of any.
Off the top of my head, but I guess that's a good thing. Like we've all been very fortunate to play with some really solid bands.
Yeah, and we're hoping we'll be able to play a lot more here soon. We've been going several months without anything really going on. And we put out a video for Havoc, and we're working on another music video for Broken Glass. I think we can go ahead and say that.
Yeah.
And that one will be good. And then most likely come beginning of summer, there will be new music.
Hopefully. Just out of curiosity, if you haven't made it this far in the video, and you live in South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina, if you want to see us by chance play a show, comment and let us know where at in the these neighboring states of ours. Where
comment venues,
Yeah,
comment
comment
smaller
venues.
venues and stuff like that, and we'll be happy to reach out. You know, put us in contact with other local bands.
Yeah, if you want to play with us,
Yeah,
hell, I mean, let us know. We'll we'll see about get in contact if you guys know of any venues that we can tag along, or you can tag along with us. And at this point, it's all about helping each other out. So we're all for meeting new bands and stuff.
yeah. If you are in a smaller band and you have something out, like, send it to us. Like, I want to hear your stuff. But yeah, feel free to comment and tell us where you want to see us, and we're hoping we'll be able to make that work soon. But I want to go ahead and say again, we have the merch store online now, so go check that out. Let us know what you think, and also go check out our Bandcamp. And you can buy our songs there, and anything helps. We're trying to help fund this next project, which is going to blow you all away, hopefully. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, and please follow us on all of our social medias, and listen on Spotify, Apple Music, and add us to your playlists. Do all that fun stuff. But we'll see you guys next week. Later.